Hello everyone, Angela here with Turo Family Chiropractic and your weekly PSA or Piece of Salutogenic Advice. Another beautiful winter Wednesday here. I've been loving these abilities to get outside in the middle of winter. Has been very nice seeing the sunshine. So this month, new theme, we are focusing on prehab or rehab. So what would you rather be doing? And we're really focusing in on muscle recovery, muscle movement, how to really improve your recovery so that you can improve the quality of your workouts, improve your recovery time, and really prevent injuries from coming up that are going to take you out of not only your workouts, but also, those injuries that you get at the gym can absolutely impact your day-to-day life. So we really want to prevent those exercise type injuries so that you're not only having your best workouts during that gym time, but making sure that you're, not hurting and not impacting your day-to-day life, that you can still do the things that you want to do. And when we're talking about prehab, it's something that we don't think about as much. So rehab, a lot of people are familiar with. If you've ever, had an injury and had to do physical therapy or occupational therapy, something where you really had to basically retrain your muscles how to move and how to function. Usually is a lot of very low impact type exercises, maybe only using body weight or using some type of resistance bands. But really it's that really important component after an injury, after a surgery, even after a long stint of not using a particular muscle group, kind of getting it back to learning how to function. But prehab essentially is the idea of, instead of waiting until you have that injury, is to basically treat those different muscle groups, especially the injury prone muscle groups. So your shoulders, your knees, your hips, the ones that you hear about a lot, treating those areas in a way, so essentially doing the rehab type exercises before an injury actually occurs. And this is really important because the stronger and more mobile and more flexible that those different areas are, the less likely you are to actually injure them. I mean, injuries do happen, especially, the higher intensity or higher impact type sports or exercise that you're doing. Injuries absolutely happen, and heck, in day-to-day life, injuries happens. We've all tripped down the stairs from, time to time, or, tripped over the dog, or, whatever, that, we get some type of minor acute injury. But if you are exercising on a regular basis, which I hope everybody is, because we talk about the importance of that all the time, you really want to make sure that you're taking the time to focus on that recovery, because sometimes we can get really excited about the exercise part, and we start a new program and, we're at the gym every day lifting, or, out there running every day, or out there, doing our exercise program every single day, and we're not taking the time to let our muscles heal and recover and really truly rest, which is actually when your body is healing and getting stronger. So, during the exercise program, during that hour or two, whatever that you're at the gym, your body's being broken down. It's really, there's a lot going on. It's during the rest and recovery time that your body is healing and then actually adapting and getting stronger. So that rest is not something to be overlooked. We really want to make sure that you're taking time, and we're going to be sharing tips all month long about how to really optimize that recovery time, but focusing on some prehab exercises. And what I tell people, if they're like, well, I'm not sure what to focus on, if you've ever had an injury on one side, then you really want to make sure that you're continuing to rehab. So for me, I hurt my right shoulder years ago, and I went through physical therapy for that. And I remember they told me, they're like, all these exercises that we have you doing on the right side, do on the left side, because the fact that this injury happened, there's a very good likelihood that it could happen on the other side as well. So the more that we can prevent that, and as we always talk about here, it is so much easier to prevent things. It is so we always say it's easier to raise healthy children than treat sick adults. And the same is true when it comes to, to sports and athletes. It is so much easier to prevent injuries than to try to fix them after they occur. So really focusing in on what can you do, what areas might be an issue for you. Like I said, if you're a runner, you're talking about your knees and your hips that are taking a lot of impact. So making sure that you're really focusing on, mobility, maybe focusing on some resistance training, resistance bands, or full resistance training to make sure those muscles are staying strong. If you're somebody like me and do a lot of boxing, shoulders are going to be an issue, even wrists, things, really any joint is a potential problem area. So the more that you can focus in, the more that you can build up those muscles, strengthen those, keep everything loose that's supposed to be loose, and keep the muscles strong, is really going to help you in the long run. Not to say you'll never get injured. We, of course, again, unfortunately all run into those issues here and there, but on a regular day-to-day basis, your body will really thank you if you incorporate some of those rehabilitation type exercises into your normal routine even before an injury ever happens. So that is your weekly PSA. Don't think about, again, sometimes we constantly focus on what the end goal is. We want to get stronger or faster, and we don't see how some of the lower intensity things like resistance bands and stretching and mobility work. It's hard to see how all of that fits in. But any athlete that is trained at a high intensity knows the more you beat your body up, the more that you're really going to appreciate those days and those exercises and incorporating that type of stuff in. So focus on your prehab so that hopefully you don't need the rehab, and that continue to follow us all month long for, again, more tips and specifics on how to really optimize your exercise recovery time. So that is your weekly PSA. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, any questions or comments, please feel free to send them our way. And this is also just your daily reminder to get outside, enjoy the sunshine, and get some fresh air. And we'll see you guys the same time next week. Have a wonderful day.